Hey guys, what's going on? It's Talk for Stevie. We are waiting for our usual panelists to come on to the show tonight, but it is the Red and White show. We are live on all the usual things for the show. So Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube are live. So obviously you guys can all get in. We are waiting for the usual crowd to actually come on to the show, but the show must go on. So obviously I'm showing the video one, just a bit of marketing to go out for sporting iconics who are on Twitter. I've got these. I put them at linked that last week on the Facebook on the usuals. Obviously I've got these. The posts are on the Facebook, Twitter, and everything. So go have a look. If you want me to repost it, I will repost it. But I did get these quite good photos. They're like 13 quid. So obviously, if you want to get a treat for someone for the Christmas or birthday, they are quite good. They are looking for other iconic moments in our club history. So it is good that it'd be good if you guys, if anyone wants to buy some stuff from them that Finny. I've got Mr. Turton saying we'll be on as soon as laptop loads. Obviously, part-time loot. Owen saying yo, aka Matt Dean. So yo, I will get this link out in the chat as well. So if any of you guys want to come on, you're more than welcome. It's the usual chit chat show where we do discuss all things Forest, from last game to next game to any other topics that does come onto the channel. Normally we have Mr. Turton, who normally is the explosive one, and Owen's Matt Dean. So it is the usual. Obviously we have got the first Lucan saying yo, and then we got him saying it's the goat himself, Dan Man. Yeah, just me on my own at the minute. Just waiting for the usual panelists to come on to the link. So we are waiting, but the show must go on. So obviously, Forest losing at the weekend 4-0 to Fulham. Unfortunately, just felt like the performance didn't deserve that result at all. I felt like that we did give them a couple of goals without a shadow of doubt. Not going to lie about that because we did. Not going to beat by the boat about it. But then I felt like if Bradman would have scored that chance he had early in the second half, it would have been a game changer. So it's one of them ones I do think that it could have been. Well, it's been one of them. I think that we could have been better, but clinical wise. But Fulham were a good side, probably the best side I've seen Dan City Grand this season. So I'm not going to lie, probably the best I've seen in a long while, Dan City Grand. So Quan said, I know about that. It was my fifth game. I think a lot of people was too, if there. Mr. Turton is saying I was on early tries, but quantity was shocking. One of them ones. We have got the one we need, Phil.
Hi.
Here we are. We've got the first usual panelist to come on, which is Phil.
Hi.
Thumbs up. What did you think Sunday?
I think the referee didn't help, and like the first goal probably should have been a free kick to us. The second goal was really bad defending from us, but I don't think it was a 4-0 thrashing. You know, I think it could have gone either way, to be honest. So, but then again, you know, it might do us a favour because, you know, Fulham with the money, you can see the gap with the money with the finances from the Premier League, and but I think you know, I think you know, it might do us a good. We've got a good opportunity against QPR on Friday. to get back on winning ways. And, with the games what were coming up, everyone won playing Fulham. I think, they're going to be a tough side. But I think even their manager said it weren't a 4-0 thrashing. And I think we had opportunities in that game, like grabbing Mr. Sitted into, what I mean? And I think on another day, if that went in, things could have changed. So I think it was one of them things where, I think for myself, the referee was probably one of the poorest referees I've seen at City Ground, home or away, for a while. And I don't think he helped at all. Some of the decisions and some of the free kicks when we won the ball free kick, and then it was not very inconsistent. And reading what Cooper said and what Cooper said about him being a replacement, you can tell that he's probably non-league level referee, not championship. Especially for the importance of that game, like it's high profile game kind of thing. But at the end of all, on a positive, Dan, the fans who stayed there were still clapping the team. There weren't much booing from the fans at all, even when we was down that time. And if you go back a few months, and if we was under Chris Hughton reign, it would have been very, very toxic. So on a positive, that even though, even I think Cooper was surprised that the fans clapped him off and clapped the players off. And I think that might, psychologically for the players, Dan, I think it'd be really important that they know that the fans are behind them, even though they got a massive loss of that 4-0.
Yeah, I do actually agree with that. I mean, the thing the fans actually appreciation.
Yeah, I think looking at we've had some really good results, better away than home at the moment.
Yeah,
and I think the pressure is going to be on at home. Always more pressure on at home because you're the home team and you've got a big crowd. I just hope that at Sheffield United we still get a big turnout of home fans. I hope the people who just came all there for that Fulham game, that they don't just decide that I'll come and battered, and they don't come and turn out for the fans again. You know what I mean? So I just hope that that they see it as a perfect opportunity to come back, because we've got some good tasty games coming up soon, haven't we? So I just hope that it's the first time for a long time, Dan, as well. I've seen Forest fans at the City Ground after defeat. I don't think I've ever seen them really clap, because you normally get a 50-50, some clap him off, some boo him off, and I've never seen that at City Ground before. I don't know if you have or not.
No, probably the first time we've seen a defeat and where we actually feel like that the fans actually appreciated the performance. I mean, it's not often that we see that, because obviously everything like what has gone off. I think the fans actually appreciate that Forest didn't Eds didn't drop that. They actually continue playing football.
Yeah. I do. I mean, with it, I'd like to see our new lad come on. I wish that he came on so we could see him. But I can understand it was good that he was actually making on the bench and stuff like that. So I do think that for the fans, I think I still think people will get it right, and there was going to be blips. We're in the championship. You know what it's like. The next game we could go down their ground and beat them 4-0. Do you know what I mean? So, but do you think that we gave them a little bit too much respect?
Yeah,
that's what I thought. I thought we just gave them a little bit more respect. But there were some parts in that game where we couldn't even get a look in, could we? You know what I mean, with the passing. But if you think about the midfield, they probably get about £50 million worth of players in the midfield compared to Ryan Yates, Jack Colback, and when Garner came on.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a big gap difference in there, but we've proven that we can beat Fulham. We've done it before away and stuff. So I think in one way we will learn a lot from that defeat, because you always do.
Yeah.
And I think with it, I think one thing if I was Cooper, I would be saying, look, we don't give them as much as respect as we did. But you can understand, players doing that. You know what I mean? So I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed, Dan, at all about the defeat. You know what I mean? I'm not. Obviously I'm disappointed. Losing any game, you're disappointed. But I'm not disappointed about. I think the reaction, the heads didn't go down. I didn't see players' heads going down. They're still, and I think that's important. I think that's one thing which is very important as in a club, that your players still go, because it's important. And I think in the long run it might do us a world of good.
Yeah.
Because we can look back at that game and see there were definitely positives in that game. There was. So, I think with it, we just got to carry on and, move on to the next game. It's done and dusted now. We've got a good opportunity now in the next game against QPR on Friday. I think that will be an important game for us. And, if we get on there, we've got, 3 points. We put pressure on the teams above who are, currently in the playoff positions. And I think it's wide open this year, Dan, because it's massively wide open. And I do think we have got a perfect opportunity to get in that playoff place. I still think we'll do it.
Yeah.
And I think Fulham will go out that game thinking, we was lucky there.
Oh, they will do.
And I don't think.
And I was going to say, Luton said Phil Mitchell, what a legend. Luton.
Did it? Where is he anyway?
Yeah.
Where's everybody? Where is everybody? They're hiding tonight, or?
Yeah, they're hiding tonight.
Oh, so they only come on when we win, do they?
Yeah, it's unreal.
Call themselves boys fans, mate, eh?
Yeah, unreal. After that, Luton said we are linked with Brewster. I remember saying something about that a couple of weeks back. Actually, I remember that comment about Brewster. Yeah. He did actually say that.
Well, with Brewster, it depends on money-wise, because I know Sheffield United paid a lot of money for it. And he's always seemed to me like a handful. I mean, at Swansea, I think when he was at Swansea on loan, he was playing what you hate, because he's one of them players that you hate because he was strong, he bullied defenders off the ball, and you know what I mean, where you hate them kind of players because they can do damage to your team, kind of thing. So, but I think if Sheffield United are trying to get rid, and I can't see him wanting. You see, with it, I can't see Sheffield United wanting to give a striker out of loan in case he turns. But then again, I can't see us paying the silly amount of money what they may want.
Oh, we won't pay that.
But you never know. I mean, Sheffield United might think, well, take him off the wage bill. They might have someone lined up, because for some reason he's just not working out for him, is he, at Sheffield United? But at Swansea, he scored 11 goals, didn't he, for Swansea when he was on loan? I mean, when he was at Liverpool, they had high hopes for him, didn't they? Really high hopes for him to be, the next big thing. But he's still young enough, isn't he?
Yeah, don't say that. Something into it.
Yeah, he's quite a young player, and that fits into the plan for Murphy's plan and obviously Cooper's plan. But with it, it's like I think it will all depend for me on the money wise.
I said that last week.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. And I think with it, if they pay 25 million for him, he's not going to be on 10 grand a week, is he? You know what I mean? He's probably going to be one of the highest paid players at Sheffield United. But then again, Max Lowe could be something in there where you could say, what, fantastic here. The training's better, it's different. It can be a lot of little things in there where they're not playing to his potential, and stuff like that. So it could, Max, we could probably, he might want a challenge. And sometimes, Sheffield United, they might think it's the best thing for him because they can't see. Because every time he's in there, even if he comes out on loan, like at the moment, if he's not performing, he's not worth 25 million. What would you say he's worth? 5 million?
Probably, yeah.
So if he's worth 5 million, Sheffield United has lost, 20 million in a very short period of time. So they might see it as an opportunity to try and say, go out and loan to Forest or whatever, because you can't see any Premier League teams. Hey, Luke is in. You can't see any. Yeah.
Technology allows me to access the show. Brilliant.
Well, that time I thought you was hiding because of our defeat, mate.
Oh no, I'm not scared when we getting defeats.
I
get mutant stuff, so I'm not scared.
Good. We're happy on Sunday after the game.
Hey?
You were still happy on Sunday.
Still happy? Well, after the game? I mean, it wasn't a 4-0 loss, so I mean, it wasn't that type of game. At least we actually gave the game a go. I mean, we tried, but at the end of the day, we got screwed over by an incompetent referee. And
I was going to ask you what you thought about the ref.
Yeah.
And they just pounced on a couple of mistakes. Things happen in football. You're not going to win every game. So,
do you think the first goal should have been disallowed?
Honestly, I've watched it back and I don't know. I mean, first glance was hard to tell anyway. Second time I watched it, I was like, I couldn't see what they were complaining about. And then when someone said about the obstruction with the guy in front of Worrell, I was like, maybe. But again, it's a championship referee. So,
he's not even a championship referee either. He's more Sunday League ref.
Well, on that performance, yes.
Yeah,
As I put in the comments earlier on, he refereed us against Coventry. First game of the season.
Say no more then. Say no more.
I back you up on that one. Luke, when I said Cooper wants Fulton, which I want to know why. Fulton from Swansea.
Well, that's why then, isn't it? Because he's from Swansea.
No. I reckon he can. Well, maybe from Swansea, but you might feel that he could bring some bit more strength. I don't think he's that impressed with Gardner. You?
I'm not impressed with Garner. I mean,
No.
I'll tell you what the difference is with James Garner, right? Under Houghton, he had that time to play the ball because it was all slow tempo.
Yeah.
So he could pick his pass.
Yeah.
Now it's all quickened up and it's one-touch passing. I think he's a bit stressed. He's not relaxed in his play. And it's all ping, 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 ping.
Yeah.
But if you can't do that at Forest, then how are you going to be able to do it? Well, actually, you probably could do it at Man United at the minute, but if they ever change, then how's he going to be able to do it in the Premier League?
Yeah. I think you're right there. I mean, William, he has struggled massively, hasn't he, this season?
I mean, Colback is way better.
And could you imagine? At the beginning of the season that people would say that Colback is better than Gardner?
Absolutely not. I mean, I wouldn't have said that about 5 or 6 weeks ago because I was still the Gardner had come off.
Yeah.
But I just don't. There's only so long you can think, oh, he'll come good eventually. Until it's like, well, actually, no. The realism is he's probably not.
Do you think Man U will recall him in Jan?
Potential for not playing.
I think so.
Because do you think that, what he's saying about the high hopes with the new lad, do you think that he's got no chance? I think he'll go back in Jan, I reckon.
I think him and the Arsenal lad are both done.
Yeah.
David said about we played well, we just done by a better team on Sunday.
Well, I don't. They're better. Maybe I don't know if they
were they better.
I don't think they were absolutely mega better than us. I just think that there was a bit lucky on something. I mean, the second goal, was a total mess up on defence, and I just think that. I think if we didn't give them so much respect, I don't know. Probably going to be there or thereabouts because the finance is what you get from the Premier League. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, there is a gap. But I don't think they're the best team what I've seen against us this year.
Yeah, but if I relay my analysis I did for the group, the first goal, there's an argument to say that there was a guy obstructing our defender when Mitrovic ran in front. But at the same time, I'd still want Lewis Graben to pick up Mitrovic in the box.
Yeah.
Because there's two other players behind Graben when Spence flicks it in. Which means there would have still been a guy free to pick up Mitrovic who'd made the run.
Yeah.
The second goal, McKenna didn't need to come inside. That's just a classic thing of trying to overplay. He's trying to bring it, pass it across. But you've got to know when to pass and when not to pass.
Yeah.
That needed just a clip. Even if you did a dink ball down the line, you never should be running across your own penalty area.
Yeah. I mean, apart from that mistake, really, McKenna's played really well for us.
Yeah.
So, he's been probably one of our best defenders, hasn't he?
I'll tell you something, though, right? Playing this way, those mistakes are always likely to happen.
Yeah.
Because you're playing out from the back, so you're always going to concede what looks like a really scary goal.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary. But at the same time, the other flip of the coin is, when it goes right, it looks brilliant. The movie tries to win.
Yeah.
across, plays the ball across, and then try and get it out the other side. Then the third goal just showed how fragile we are when we take out a player from the back, because and the fact that Gardner really should have won the tackle in the middle of the park, completely, but that's by the by. And then the fourth goal is a penalty, which, I mean, that's debatable in itself.
Yeah.
Well, Sam's daughter said evening all.
Evening.
And Sam's daughter put first mistake I can't think of that McKenna has made since been here.
I mean, fair comment. I mean, can't think of much he's done wrong.
Yeah, fair comment. I agree.
I mean, especially with playing alongside Figueiredo, he's made a hell of a lot more mistakes. Oh, Dan's disappeared.
Do you reckon? Do you reckon that when the other two central defenders get fully fit, these will get dropped again?
I reckon that Figueiredo will definitely be out when Mbeso's fit.
Well, I spoke to him after the game because I was speaking to his dad, actually, because his dad was there. And he said that he was running again and he's fit. And his dad said to me, he said he was really glad that Chris Hooton gone because he would never get a look in because Chris Hooton definitely did not like younger players. That's what his dad said. But I think you're right. I think as soon as the back fit, I think things will get dropped because I don't think it's his best position yet. Where's Dan gone anyway?
No idea. He just randomly disappeared. But
we're taking over the Dan show. Yay!
But Dan's back.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, that was short-lived, wasn't it? You know.
But yeah, I just think that, to be honest, Figueiredo's not done a great deal wrong apart from the penalty against Barnsley.
Yeah.
But again, I think if you want a ball-playing defender in the middle, then you play Mbeso.
Yeah.
I just think also the thing we're lacking is that drive through the middle of the park.
Yeah, I do actually agree with that, Luke.
Wow, we agree.
I've been nice, yeah.
Is it a full moon or something? You're being nice to me.
Well, we're not talking about Barnsley yet, so.
I mentioned it. About Figueiredo and the penalty.
I know you did. You've seen the Barnsley and like.
Funny.
But yeah, I do think one of them ones. Now we lost. Would he change it?
I mean, that's a question only for Steve Cooper.
Yeah.
Would I change it? I mean, I'd like to see us maybe get a bit more energy behind Graben. I mean, for all of his nice connection play that Zinkernagel does, I don't see much drive. You've got Johnson one side doing all the running around and chasing everything down, getting the ball and basically sprinting forward.
Yeah.
When Zinkernagel gets it, it's like he's in second gear.
Yeah. I mean, last game we didn't play too great, did he? You know what I mean? So.
And I think, when you've got options like Lolly and Mighton, you can throw in off the bench, and it was difficult for them to make a real impact in that game. But I mean,
yeah. Do you think he should have brought Yeah, I think you're right, because it's difficult when you're getting into that kind of game, isn't it? You know what I mean? To get into it in with the time kind of thing. But I do think I think sometimes he tries too hard. You know what I mean? Tries to take on one player too much in, and then it don't work out, does it?
I think the problem with Zinkernagel is I think he is a winger, as in a wide player, and he can do that work out wide and still manage to get balls into the box. And they're fairly decent balls when he puts crosses in. But this narrow system, I just think for all nice passing, does it really entail anything?
Yeah.
And I think if you played a Lolly or a Mighton there, you might get a bit more drive, and two players doing it behind Graben could create a few more chances.
What about Ryan Ojeda? Do you think that he could be? Because they're talking highly up of him, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes, I think the thing with Ojeda is I can understand why he didn't get on last game.
Yeah.
Because we were losing 4-0. It was the most horriblest game on the planet to actually watch, with the referee every 5 minutes deciding he's going to throw cards around like confetti.
Yeah.
But
do you think if it was like 1-1, he would have come on?
I think Ojeda will come on off the bench when we're 1 or 2 up.
Yeah.
At home, and everything's going right. I think we'll switch it, and Ojeda will come on, because then there's less pressure. It's more, let's see what you can do, instead of let's see if you can change the game.
Yeah. And the other thing in the room, which is probably going to come to a head, what's going to happen to Carvalho?
I can see him going.
How many managers does this guy need to work under before he either gets a starting place or he just gets gone? I mean, we paid £13 million for him, and to be honest, we've probably got 2-3 million worth out of him for the half season he played.
Is that worth that much?
I mean, that was just an estimate, Phil. It's probably a lot less.
5p and 10p mates.
Do you think if he does go, how much do you reckon we get for him?
Less than what we paid.
What is he going to be one of those players what we sell, and then all of a sudden he's a world beater, and everyone thinks, why couldn't he do that at City Ground?
But again, I'd like to see him in this system, because I reckon in this system he'd work.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't got to worry about all this defending, because you've got 3 defenders, 2 wing backs, and 2 central midfielders. I mean, that's even more crazy to think of defending than when you've got 4 defenders and 2 defensive midfielders. I mean, I found it bonkers that it didn't work with Colback and Watson.
Yeah.
Because why does Carvalho need to then defend? You've got 2 defensive midfielders behind him.
He's not to defend, is he? He's there to attack and score goals. Well, help create goals.
Well, I reckon he can do that. I reckon he can actually do that. But somehow, somewhere, there's something wrong with his mentality, fitness. You know?
Something's not right, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's because I do like him. I do think he's, but I do like the creative kind of style of players. You know what I mean? I do think that he's got something in his locker what we haven't got, but it's just trying to get it out of him.
Yeah,
Luke's thinking right now, and if anyone watched 3KO right now, we're all seeing Phil's kitchen. As he got a microwave, got kitchen roll.
I could pay me off if you wanted. It's like, yeah, I'm cooking everyone's dinner as well. So, yeah, I'll tell you something. What I'm mega proud of.
Yeah.
I played at City Ground, scored a goal from halfway line, and that won shirt what I wore.
Hey.
So,
I'm still trying to digest Sam's comment.
why? What's he say?
What a Sam's point is, but there's no point in having 2 forward players chasing the ball and forcing a mistake, and then having no one to pick up second balls that singing Aldo.
But we have been picking up second balls, but against Fulham, unfortunately, their midfield is far better than ours, aren't they? You know, when you've got £50 million worth of players at Fulham, realistically, and say you've got 1 million call back, 5 million at a push for, it's 50 million v 6 million, you know what I mean? On 2 of these, they're probably worth 50 million, aren't they?
Yeah. Rich Sanchez said they go out against people. I do give that. Sam has put, but Joe doesn't work hard enough when we don't have the ball, in my opinion. You need players who can put a tackle in, etc. And he doesn't do any of that.
Yeah, but again, I'm going to address the whole comment, the 2 comments in one. The first one, you can chase down balls and have players to pick up those second balls.
Yeah.
But arguably, can Mighton not pick up those second balls? Can Lolly not pick up those second balls? Why does it have to be Zinkernagel?
Do you think it's something to do with the loan deal?
Could be.
Yeah, but again, why are we bowing down to other teams' contract demands in harming our chances of our own season? Surely we should just pick the side that we think is best to go out and win football matches. If X clubs say we need to play a player for 15 games or we incur the fine, then we incur the fine and take what's best for the side, not playing a player that seems to be playing these cute nice balls around but not really achieving much.
I do like him. I do like him as a player.
I do like him.
I think with him, unfortunately, I think you either get him as a world beater and he's the best player on the pitch, or he don't. He's not Mr. Steady, is he? He's either really good and very creative, you know, and direct, or he's off the game within the first. I think with him, what I've noticed with him is, if he has a good game, you can tell within the first 10 minutes with his head mentality if he's going to have a stormer or he's going to be off the pace.
Yeah.
In the games what I've seen him play. That's what, you know, and you know, probably I would probably might have brought him off at half time, to be honest.
And then the second part of this,
Just
why
put that there.
Yeah,
the original conversation.
But the Zhao comment about needing players to put tackles in, isn't that why we have Yates and Cole back?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's what their job is, isn't it? To get it and then pass it on to the creative players to create chances.
So Zhao doesn't need to do any of that. So your comment about Zhao not doing it is a bit kind of, well, why does he need to? When you've got Yates, Cole back, and then 3 centre-backs that can also make the tackle. My issue is, with the goal that we conceded against Bristol City, where I think it was either Figueiredo or Worrell, let the ball bounce.
Yeah.
Just get it clear. I mean, it seems like ages since we've done a red and white show, so I'm having to go back quite some time to draft on games. But
yeah,
What's the last one? Monday.
I don't even remember last Monday, Dan. It's
It's
so
old,
long ago
it's
now.
old age.
Well, I am 20
Yeah,
now, so um,
I was going to touch up on this a little bit anyway, a little bit later on, but Luke and I speaking me to it. What's your predictions for the QPR game?
I think we'll win 2-0.
well, we all know what it's like to be a Mark Warburton side.
Yeah.
So it should not come alien to anyone what a Mark Warburton side is going to do. They are going to attack. They're going to be expansive.
Yeah.
As expansive as you can get at Loftus Road. And they're going to be a bit open at the back.
Yeah.
So, with our defensive frailties and their defensive frailties, it could be quite
a wide open game.
Like Blackpool.
Yeah. Well, I think with it, and one way, I mean, I heard that Mark Robertson was whinging on Sky about they're playing the game like last night against Sunderland. Yeah, no, well, it was saying before the game, you know, why is it's not fair that we're playing in the cup game and then we've got a game on Friday? And Simon Jordan said, well, yeah, but are you getting paid? You're getting £100,000 TV money or something like that. And he was like, well, like, you know what I mean? Simon Jordan actually brought him down and figure to saying, well, you know, you're going to get paid £100,000. So what you complaining about?
It's not just that though, but they progressed in the Carabao Cup. They knew at some point they were going to have a game close to a league game to carry on doing well in the Championship.
Yeah.
We all know that Sky moved games to very, very irregular timings, like Sunday at 3 o'clock sometimes. And well, that wasn't a Sky game, but anyway. If they go to the Premier League, some days you play Sunday, and other days you play Thursday. I mean, Mark Walsh needs to count his chickens that this one is just a Carabao Cup game before a Friday night league game.
Yeah.
Excuses, I reckon.
Hey, but if he's already trying to whinge about the schedule, then we need to make our extra days rest count.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's no point in whinging about it and then us going and turning out a performance that probably shows that we're lax out the blocks and we look like the one that's more knackered than QPR. We high energy all over it. I mean, the one thing I want to notice is how the fullback play their balls into the box.
Yeah.
Because we know how small Loftus Road is.
Yes, yeah. Very tight game.
If they haven't narrowed their training pitches before this game by about, I'd say, twice the size, I want to know why. Because Loftus Road is tiny.
It is, yeah, and you are really close. And the pitch is close.
I've never been, but even I know it's tiny from looking at it on
TV. I love it. And you're right, it is a very small ground. You know, you throw it and you're like that. You know, if you step back, you're being with the crowd. You know, it really is a small ground.
But we need to make that pay as well. We need to use every inch of the pitch.
Yeah.
And I think if we score early, we'll win.
Yeah. That's some cracking games against QPR in the past, haven't we? You know, we've had some right topsy-turvy games. But I think it's an important one. I think for us, if we can get the right result on Friday with 3 more points high up, we're still we put a lot of pressure. I think psychologically, we put a lot of pressure of the teams who haven't played, who are closer nearby, because they think, well, we've closed the gap massively, and it takes the pressure on them. So I think, with it, if we can get 3 points on Friday, I think it will. Mm-hmm.
I wanted to channel Watford, where they got thrashed by Liverpool one week, and then come back and absolutely thrash Everton the next week.
Yeah. Because like that game. When I first seen it, Everton was in ahead, weren't they? You were like, 1-0 ahead, and then all of a sudden I couldn't believe it when it was like, oh, it's 5-2 in the end. They were like unreal. And they did a lot of the damage in the last 10 minutes, didn't they? You know what I mean? Really. Well, I think you're right, mate. I think that's what we need to do. Thinking, well, you know what? We've got a perfect opportunity now to get 3 points and step up again.
Well, we're never going to give up in games, so
yeah. Cooper wouldn't let it though, would he?
Nah.
Even on Sunday, it was Sunday.
Sunday.
We still kept going. If Graben scored that sitter, it would have been a totally different game altogether.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree.
Carry on, Phil.
Yeah, I agree. I think that if Graben did score that, it would have been a totally different game. Because we got onto we looked dangerous. On chances. We did have some really good chances, didn't we? But nobody would have put 3-4 in.
Sam George says, "What are you guys doing? The watch line or something for Friday? Go to the country." I'm not sure yet. I don't see. I'm open to, but it just depends what I get up to, because one day from another is very different at the minute.
Yeah,
Dan's a busy man. He's doing his hair there and everywhere.
Yeah,
he's everywhere.
Yeah. But yeah, I do actually agree with you on that one.
Cool.
Yeah.
I agree.
Have any of you guys got any topics you want to talk about?
I think probably said it all tonight myself. So I'm hunky dory, mate.
I want to bring up a bit of a topic that my dad actually stirred up on my Facebook group
about people leaving.
Yeah, about the fans leaving early. What do you guys make of this?
I don't agree with it.
I'd never leave early, because I think that you support the team in good and bad days, and I can't see the point. And I always think, no matter what we are, when people leave, there's always a chance to the final whistle that we might all of a sudden score 5 goals, or whatever. So I would never leave leavers, because I think, and I know some people leaving and going and all that, but to me, you can't support a team only when you're winning.
Yeah.
And that's my thingy. Yeah, I understand people's views that, they pay the money, they can do what they want. And yeah, you're right. But to me, you should support your team through thick and thin. And if we was away and getting beat 4-0, you might not even be like that anyway. So I don't know why they do it. And I think with it brings, I think as a player, when you see that so many people leave and stuff like that, if the fans are behind them, no matter what, even if we could get one goal or 2 goals, we might have finished that game 4-3. You know what I mean? And personally, I think that the fans should stay to the end. And I'm glad that I'm one of them who stayed and clapped them and, showed my support that they had an effort, and unfortunately weren't good enough. But, I would never, and same with my lad, never would leave beforehand.
Do you know what irritated me about it more?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the same 4-0 that we'd have probably got against Sheffield Wednesday. that game. That game we
Yeah,
had
yeah.
where you probably could have accepted the fact that people were going because it really was shocking.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And it irritated me that it was the first defeat we'd had under Steve Cooper.
Yeah.
And to me, it was almost like people had got back into the kind of mentality they had under Houghton, where it's another defeat. Oh, we'll go then.
Yeah. Do you think that? I think I am really proud that the fans who did stay clapped him, and using Cooper even said, "I was shocked that the fans still clapped the team off." Because I think that was important, but I agree. You can get beat 4-0 and be in a very, very close game, or you could like Sheffield Wednesday, totally different. You know what I mean? That 4-0, that still same scoreline, but totally different performances. So, I don't know.
Luton City minute. Dan saying yes, Phil, and Dan and Luke.
Hello.
The thing is, I think the clapping and the bit that we all did at the end of the game would have been a lot more powerful if the 27,000 that were there stayed till the end.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree there massively. Because I tell you what, because Fulham fans were quiet, weren't they? They were shocking, weren't they?
All those fans managed to stay when we were winning games.
Yeah.
So why is it so hard to now stay
when we lost one game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, it'd be a bit irritating, but if it was like the 9th game that we had a defeat under Steve Cooper, not in a row, obviously, but with his, you could play it all right. But it was the first one. Like, what impression does that send out that when you get a defeat, that only half the ground is bothered to stay?
I mean, with it, to me, if we stayed and we carried on making that noise, I think Fulham would think, when we go down to their ground, we'll be thinking, God, this team is together, the fans are together, and like, I think it would have probably shocked them, you know what I mean? Give them a bit, but when people are leaving, then they can start taking the pee out of the team, can't they? You know what I mean? Out the lighting stuff. But I think you're right. The thing what I was thinking, concerned with, well, are these the fans what have come, or will they come back again for Sheffield United game? Or will the cars go down or whatever because of that? We've had one defeat.
It looks like you think.
The comment by Lurquan about the fact that he just stayed with he was getting a bus. Well, here's the thing. Me and my dad get buses every single game and still manage to catch a bus and still manage to even get a seat on said buses. You just have to know where to get them.
Yeah.
Going because you have to catch a bus isn't actually a valid excuse.
No. Because what would happen if we was winning 4-0? Would it still gone and caught that bus?
Good question, Phil.
Would they? We're winning 4-0 Fulham, and would they think, oh dear, I need to leave 20 minutes before final whistle to catch a bus? I could understand it if it was a night game on a Sunday and we're down, say, London, and the last train ever back to Nottingham is at 10 o'clock, and you're thinking, I'm going to go get from here to there in that time, then there's certain times where you think, well, maybe, but if we was winning 4-0, and also the question would be, if we were playing Derby at home and beating them 4-0, would it still go at 20 minutes before the final whistle? And I think the answer is all going to be NO. Or any team we play and we're beating 4-0.
I'm enjoying
Unless the bus is that important that they need to go somewhere therefore.
I think good out Lurk one, but to be quite honest, I think it is just a general kind of aiming the question to most of the fans that left, because I think most of them were, we just wanted to go home.
You would be Luke if you didn't have a explosive moment, so.
Oh, Dan, I've been saving this one up for until I knew when the red and white show was coming out. I save these little gems up, and I just throw them out just on your show.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good question to ask. Would the fans who went, we was winning 4-0, would they still go 20 minutes to catch up bus? Or would it stay till 5 months? That is a million-dollar question.
Come on, everyone, write in. Phil needs answers.
I need answers, yeah. I need answers because I'm saying,
Yeah.
Or I'll tell you what as well, I'll even do a free offer live. If they live anywhere like Newark and they need to get the bus 20 minutes before we live past Newark or whatever, I would even give them a lift. If that is that important, that the offer is there. So then people, if they live in Newark way and that 20 minutes on a Sunday, if we're winning, please stay and I'll give you a lift, free of charge.
There you go. Phil's offering out his transport as well. There we go. Solution.
Phil taxis services.
Yeah, Phil's taxis, you know what I mean?
Hashtag Phil taxis.
But it is a good point. It's a good point. I mean, if you go into a football match, that's the beauty about football, isn't it? You never know what you're going to get beforehand. So when people say to you, "Oh, why do you go football?" It's the same thing. Well, it's 11 men kicking a blooming ball, but you never know, do you? You don't know what you're going to get from game to game.
Mm.
And when that 20 minutes, we've seen games change like that in 20 minutes. Would that be the same question? I tell you what, this is a good question, Luke. Let's go back to Bristol City away. Let's just say that we was at home. 1-0 down. Not long left to go. But then same people decide to see you and leave and then miss such a turnaround. And that's what football is. You never know what's going to happen. It can change in minutes like it did at Bristol City.
Phil, there's another moment I can draw upon.
Okay.
Derby at home, 1-0 down, we get a corner. Daniel Pinios.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's what I do now.
Would they have still have left then?
Yeah, you're right there, mate. Yeah. But like I say, to me, I just can't see why they have to go. Why? Now, I'd rather wait 5 minutes later and let all the car go than go.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Or whatever. But I just can't see why people have to go like that. No point. Well,
we're talking about buses and getting back. A few minutes ago, it took me 20 minutes to get from Nottingham city centre back to my local area because one of our buses said due and then just randomly dropped off, and the next bus around was 20 minutes away. So, and we stayed till the end. And was I bothered? Not really, no.
I've got
about it now, but
hashtag Phil taxis. Paul Webster put Vane Hall. You got a lifetime lift to Newark from Phil. Malcolm saying for free taxi.
I'll probably regret that. I'm going to get a load of random Facebook messages. Hi.
Oh, you did it now, though, Phil. You've offered it out now. You can't take it back.
No, but I would. Honestly, I would. You know what I mean? I'm, I've done, help fellow fans, especially that 20 minutes.
Mm.
A lot of things happen in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot can happen in 20 minutes.
It sure can.
Well, I'd like to say thank you to the lads for coming on.
Always. It's always a pleasure, Dan.
Really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Right, catch you all guys later.
Take care.